Obaiwai had two sons, um, Koboiwa Zuwara. The history remember they poisoned themselves and they died and all of that. Then later on, he had three sons. Ezoti, he had Ezoti, he had Olua, he had um, he had Ozolua. All right. Ozolua is called Prince because the day he was born, Ozolua's birth name is called Okpame because the day he was born, heavy showers of ice rain fell, and so he was given the name. His father named. Oh, okay. Sorry, my data is low. I didn't even recharge, so I have to just quickly run through. I'm coming. Let me on the TV. Maybe it's consuming data. All right. I'll just my data is low, so let me just quickly run through so that I don't before it finishes. I won't be able to recharge now. Okay. Um, like I was saying, so Prince Okpame was born the day heavy rain fell and all of that, and he was called Prince Okpame. Now, when when Obaiwai the first, when Otohiri Olue, when he joined his ancestors, the mantle naturally fell on Ezoti, his first son. His first son, Ezoti, became the Oba of Benin. All right. Although he was short-lived as the Oba of Benin, he spent only about 14 days on the throne of his forefathers before he passed on. Now, but Ezoti had a son called Owe. All right. Owe, when Ezoti died, on consultations, the chiefs had asked Prince Okpame to go and retrieve Owe. Owe was his name. He was a young boy, probably less than 10 years old. Was to retrieve him so that he can come to Benin, but not to assume the throne, basically. But he was a prospect to assume the throne. All right. So it was a prospect to assume the throne, but not to. It was a prospect to assume the throne, but not a sole right to assume the throne. So Prince Okpame was given the levity to go and bring his nephew, all right, his nephew from area now called Eho side of present Ohunde, where he was staying with his mom. Now, it was recorded that on the way, Prince Okpame killed the young Owe prince and his mother and buried them. All right. When Prince Okpame got to Benin, he now gave a news that animals devour them and all of that. But the chiefs were aware, they completely understand the high-handedness of Prince Okpame, and they said that it was not animals that killed them; that he was the one who killed them. Because of that, he had committed a very terrible abomination. So he was banished. He was banished. Mr. Solomon, I hope you're listening. So he was banished from Benin. He left Benin angrily. He was banished. He shouldn't have been angry because he actually was accused of that crime. Trust me, I think he had committed a crime because knowing who Ozolua was, yes, is that kind of a person that could have done that kind of a thing. I'm sorry, but that's what the history reveals. All right. So he left. He went to the place present day Sabogida Ora. That's where he married and gave birth to. He had a son. The Benin's remember that Owan. He had a son there. But along the line, Owan, I think Owan gave birth to Ora. That's where the lineage, all right? But his first son was Owan, all right? Along the line, the throne became empty. I don't want to go through all of those stories, all right? That one doesn't really concern you that much, all right? Along the line, the throne became empty, and Benin Kingdom became a republican state. They had no king. A lot of persons, that part was also cut out from Benin history, all right? The Benins didn't want to just talk about. So 2 years between Olua and Ozolua, there was a 2 years interregnum. There was a 2 years interregnum. There was no Oba in Benin for 2 years. I'm sure a lot of our people are not aware of that. 2 years, Edoma Oba. After Olua died, his son has already become the first Olua warrior and all of that. So Ozolua did not return to Benin until after 2 years, after he was convinced, after the oracular divination that was set by one of the oracles told the Benins of what they would do before he can return. Then he already had children, all right, but he had one son. He had one son called Ogun. They are living there now. If all the Ora people are if you're Zolwa, why people not living there in Ora? No, all the Ora, the people you now called Ora people came directly from Ozolua. They came. I don't know you understand? So when Ozolua now returned, he had other children. All right. He had other children. He had two other sons, Aran and Esigi. Aran, Idubo and Osawe. Osawe became Esigi, Idubo became Aran. Now get it very clear. Unlike what is being projected as Benin history, Aran was not Olua's first son. All right? Aran was not Olua's first son. That means Ozolua's first son and second son did not become Oba in Benin. It was his third son. I want us to get it very clearly. His first son was born in Ora. His second son was Aran, who also did not become the Oba of Benin. It was his third son, Esige, that became the Oba of Benin. There could have been okay. Now I understand what you meant now, Mr. Out there. Were people not living in Ora before him? Possibly there could have been people, but you know how most of these places are made. It is not who were living there, it is the kind of people that started living there. Sometimes you could have been it's a normal thing. There are some people in one area in your area now. There are some people they stay there for 10 years. Nobody's aware of them. Then one person just come and everybody becomes aware of them. It is always a case of history. There might have been people living there. It might be true, might not be true. But what the most prominent figure that came to town was Prince Ozolua. Being that he's a prince, who's in next in line to be the Oba of Benin, he should have a lot of courtiers, a lot of military troops that will follow him over there. So his presence would have been felt and become so loud that it naturally would cover any other thing that happened there, whether there were people, whether there are people or not. Now, in the first contest, like Messier Kwa said, the question he has raised, in the first contest, I've done 3-4 family meetings with at Evieme at our shrine there at Amidu Shrine. I've done a couple of, I think I've done 4 meetings. When my grandfather was here, like I used to follow my grandfather. Not that long ago, 4 years ago. I think the last meeting I attended at Evieme was 4 years ago. So at Evieme, at our shrine there at Evieme at Amidu, where Isekere meets Evieme by your rights. And we have an Amidu there. All right. I used to go there and we do meetings there. All right. There I was told that if your back don't prostrate generally, sons, the main lines of the Oba's children don't prostrate to greet the Oba. It is the tradition, but it is not a precursor of rights. It's not a precursor of rights. For example, if I am one of the sons of the Oba of Benin, I accompany other people to go and say His Majesty, and every other person's bow, and I did not bow, the monarch will not frown at it. The monarch will ask, why? Who are you? Then if you're able to introduce yourself of being one of the sons from patrilineal lines of the Oba, it's not a problem. That's the law. It's not only, I'm just trying to say that it has not, it's the law that substantiates the oral history of being patrilineally related to the royal house. Outside the Ora people, generally, the Oba, the sons of the Obas, don't bow before the Oba. Like I said, it is not the precursor of rights. It's not as if, it is, if you like, you do, if you like, you don't. But if you're not able to not defend that traditional right bestowed upon the lines of these main lines of these Obas, children of the Oba, it becomes a problem. All right. But I don't think that's even a big deal. I don't even think that would be a big deal. I'm also a patrilineal lines of the lines of the Obas of the neighborhood. Why won't I bow to my king? He's my king. I don't know whether you understand. It doesn't take anything from anybody. It doesn't show pride. The Oba is the Oba. Oba go Obadia. Edo time. Ododowa. Oba go Obadia. Ododowa. So an Oba cannot be in the shadow of any Oba. There are always once you're an Oba, your law, however you want to do. All right. You understand? An Oba cannot be in the shadow of another Oba. An Oba cannot be in the shadow of another Oba. We must understand that. Oba Gobadia. You understand? Oba Gobadia. You know. So to me, I don't think that's a big deal. It's not a show of pride. You understand? It shows traditionally you are patrilineally related to the royal house, and that's why there's a belief. No, he's right, Monsieur Ekwase. He's right. You understand? He's right about that. If you Ozolua, Ora people are regarded as Ozolua's children. All right? Are regarded as Ozolua's children. So and I make anyway. I think if there are other questions, you could ask your question. You could come online, and I could accept you, and so that if you want to ask questions, if you want to come up, you let me know so that we can take one or two questions, and then we round up for today, so that by the day, we are Monday, quite very busy.